Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay. Hope everyone is well this morning.
All well, all well.
Good. Just letting a few more people in as we see the people joining for this session this morning. As usual, we've got another session later on today for those of you still awake or coincide on the timing. But today we wanted to speak about what's happening in the Gulf, and of course, the best way to do that is with a few people we have in the area, boots on the ground, as they say, but not with aggressive means, but certainly trying to be informative in that level as well. So thank you all for joining in today's conversation with Shams and Kamar, with Al Qasimi, and with Blue Axis, giving a bit of a focused idea, information on the situation which is happening in the Strait of Hormuz, which is, of course, affecting us all our economies, and all our situation being safe or whatever. So let me, with no further delay, let me hand over to the first of our panelists, shall we say. It'd be great to have some questions and some comments from you as well. So please, if you could add them during the presentation in the Q&A section. You can see that at the top of the screen there. There is a chat section as well, but more of you focus towards the Q&A. We can ask the questions after the presentations. But just to make it a little bit more flowing, we'll have the three presentations, a short presentation from each of the 3 points, and then we can get to the questions after that and have a bit more general conversation in that case. So first of all, let's see what's happening in Dubai, which is maybe the focal point for many people of the Gulf at the moment. And Goldie, do we
Yeah,
have you with us? Yes,
all right. Good morning, everyone.
Goldie.
We will be discussing like a short and a brief one about the current situations in Hormuz. In general, about the businesses all around. So I'm Goldie from Blue Axis Shipping. We are based in Dubai with 2 branches, one in Dallas in US and in Chennai, India. We are a member of ASEAN since 2005. And straight to the point about the Hormuz. We will go to the next slide. Yeah. So Strait of Hormuz is the gateway of Arabian and Persian Gulf, which connects to the upper Gulf ports of UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iran. At the moment, everyone knows, Strait of Hormuz is closed from February 28 for any commercial ships. There are some exceptions happened in between. Certain ships are allowed, but majority in general, nothing is going through. You can see in the slide, like on the east side, on the right hand side, that is Gulf of Oman, which is outside the Hormuz. And you can see on the left hand side, which is a Persian Gulf, which is inside the Hormuz Strait. So since Hormuz is closed, the ships what is remaining in Persian Gulf cannot move out of the strait and go to the Gulf of Oman and to the other destinations. Basically, that's the place where we are all stuck. I can elaborate a bit more on this, regarding the region, Gulf of Oman, which is outside the state. You can see on the right hand side of the slide, Oman and the part of UAE, where there are few ports, which I'll cover on the next slide in detail. Okay, fine. So at the moment, the rerouting strategies, what we in UAE have is the on ports of UAE, which is in the east part, which is in the Gulf region, which is in the region are Korfakan port and Fujairah port. Korfakan port is like the gateway for all imports at the moment. This is operated by Gulf which is a private-owned company, which is a very big one established. And second port is the Fujairah port. Comparatively, Fujairah port is very small, but it got an advantage at the moment. It got a rail connection with other ports. So it is economical at the moment, and it's a GCC transit hub at the moment, which is well organized by AD Ports, which is in the full name is Abu Dhabi Ports Group. It is. So I'll go to the next slide. Other options what we have currently, we are using Sohar port in Oman. Sohar is considered an export hub at the moment for us because Sohar is again in the outside the strait with the vessel options of CMA and Hapag-Lloyd, Maersk Line, and all the ports in Sohar can support. Salalah is another one option which is very bit far away from UAE, but it is considered as the hub of Maersk Line and Hapag-Lloyd. So that is another one option for export at the moment. And Jeddah is another option for us for all the shipments connecting towards the Mediterranean. Because we can, let's shortest one, like for the in terms of transit from Jeddah to all Mediterranean ports. So that is one of the other option what we have at the moment. We will go to the next slide. The challenges we have at the moment is in general, like worldwide, it's a rising cost like from the carriers is imposing a lot of extra charges like water surcharges, emergency gear surcharges, storage charges in the previous ports, like then like which can sum up to $5,000 to $8,000 a container, case to case, depending upon the line to line. In spite of paying all these big amounts and everything, there is no guarantee that when the shipment will arrive, which is a big challenge for the traders and importers here in the market. Second thing, second point I have to come up with is the local pressures. The trucking companies are in high demand at the moment because they are being utilized for long haulages, cross border haulages, UAE to Oman or UAE to Saudi Arabia and all, like, so they're in high demand and their costs are very high at the moment. And shipping lines are offering, previously they used to offer 14 days, 21 days free time and all. Now there's no more free times at all. UAE was been like blessed with the modern facilities like online, everything is online. Like, you can get the container cleared online, custom delivery can be done online. Transportation, like, it's a almost a paperless thing what we had all these days. Now all on a sudden gone manual. So this is a very big bottleneck which consumes a lot of time and efforts to get one custom clearance done. Normally it takes only a day time to get everything organized, including a delivery, which now it takes about 3 to 4 days or even more, depending upon the line. Just like to get a delivery order from MSC, it may takes more than a week in the current scenario. We have very all the businesses in general, like, it is affected with this current situation. The main ones mostly affected is like tourism, hospitality, aviation, and high value luxury retail segments. I'll move on to the next slide. In the bigger picture, UAE have some very good strengths to overcome all these issues. First of all, UAE strength is the strategic location of UAE, located in a central location in Arabian Peninsula, bridging east and west of the, like, which I mentioned to you, like, both sides they have ports and everything. In the east they have Corfacan and Fujairah, and the west they have bigger ports like Khalifa in Abu Dhabi and Jebel Ali. The moment, like, we had all these issues, like, UAE come up with very good, like, appreciating contingency logistic solutions. Like, we were not having any bonded trucking facilities, for an example, but the government has come forward, like, facilitating, like, supply chain to, like, for cargo movements across the borders within the port to port within the country with bonded truck facilities and everything. And they also have some mitigation supply chain distribution through flexible routings and everything. Like, this all happened in past 45 days, like, which tend to be operational from mid of March itself. Another one advantage for UAE is, like, they have a local rail network, like, which is a very brand new thing. Like, they had a small network in Abu Dhabi, however it was not been operational, like, you're connecting the ports. Like, at the moment, Etihad the rail, like, connects all the key industrial zones, seaports like Fujairah to Jebel Ali, Fujairah to Khalifa Port in Abu Dhabi. All this is operational, and now most of the containers from Fujairah Port is being handled by Etihad rail. One more solution for the entire issue from UAE is that they have a solution called multimodal sea rail, like, to all GCC countries, Upper Gulf GCC countries. So these containers can come to Fujairah port. It will be railed to Khalifa in Abu Dhabi. From there, it will go by sea to the Upper Gulf ports like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, all these sectors. So this is in brief, this is the challenges and the solutions from UAE. We hope the situations will, like, change and Hormuz will open for all, like, so that the free flow of cargo and the cost will come down in a short period of time. That's it, David.
Thank you very much, Goldie. Thank you very much. Of course, like always good to see how new solutions are created around issues like this, the blocking of the Strait of Hormuz and the lack of ability for vessels to get into Jebel Ali. We're talking about that for the next presentations. I think it's important to note some of the capacities of these ports as well. It's all very well saying you can move merchandise in via Khorfakan, but of course Khorfakan is a much smaller port than Jebel Ali, and the capacities there. And I know, I think everyone's waiting for the opening of the strait one way or the other. How realistic that is maybe the big question, which everyone is wondering about at the moment. I guess so. Difficult times, I guess, for Dubai. I mean, of course, it's like cargo's flowing through in a very efficient way most of the time, and having to change is, as you're saying, putting up costs. So let's hope we see a solution shortly in that case. Anyway, as I said, certainly keep those questions answers flowing through. We'll address them a little bit later. But let's hear from Kuwait as well. Kuwait, of course, much further up the Persian Gulf, doesn't have the luxury of an alternative land bridge outside of the Gulf of Persia. But how's life and how are the connections up in Kuwait? And let me hand over to Mohammed of Al Qasimi Group. Mohammed, please.
Good morning, everyone. This is Mohammed Ibrahim from Al Kazmi Group. Thank you, David, to remind us that we don't have this luxury like Dubai.
But you have creativity and
Okay, let's go to the point that I will tell you that as Kuwait economy is the base of it is oil trade. So after blockage of Hormuz, which already support the world about 20% of the oil trade. So all the exports of Kuwait already stopped. After 1 week of this conflict, that it's already stopped, a little bit starting to send by March, but in April there is no oil export in Kuwait. So this very big challenge in our country now for the economy. What we do is that increasing the naval presence and the threats that affects the daily consumption of Kuwait, because Kuwait is importing everything, food, pharmaceuticals, that everything. What happened that some companies where the food support, they start to receive the cargo from UAE, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt by road, starting to maintain this supply chain. And because of the government hit very strong and they maintain the food prices and pharmaceutical prices, and there is no space to increase the prices. So what happened? Delay of inspection, delay of receiving the cargo, it affects many instructions, especially projects stopped and starting working as a online schools and everything. So by March, all of March, Ramadan time is stuck like that. About the cargo, when this conflict starts, what happened? All the carriers start to rerouting the cargo to Khorfakan, Sohar, Salalah, and Jeddah. But when we send our cargo to Khorfakan, I think Goldie can support us with more info after that. That Khorfakan is very small. That's only one terminal port. So we suffered 3 to 4 weeks, that at anchorage with the vessels. So after some time, the carriers reroute the cargo to Jeddah, and from Jeddah we receive the cargo to Kuwait. So alternative routes come to us, but it makes more delay because I came to know that when the cargo coming to Khorfakan or Sohar, the priority for the cargo is going to Oman and UAE, and the other GCC countries take the second importance. They send the cargo to UAE and Oman, and after some time we send it to Jeddah, which now is clear that to Jeddah is better only for MSC and CMA, because MSC and CMA using Red Sea, but the other carriers going that a Cape of Good Hope. I can give that an example that a shipment coming from Bangkok, it go to Khorfakan. After 2 weeks, they said, no, we will send it to Jeddah. After the vessel said from Khorfakan to Jeddah, we surprised that it will go to Lisbon, then Italy, then Egypt, then Jeddah through Suez Canal. It took Cape of Good Hope. They did not use the Red Sea. So it makes that leakage of cargo in Kuwait. But the government, they declared that they have 6 months stock of everything starting from mid of March. So till September, everything is available, everything is under control. So what happened that longer transit time makes the deliveries are very, I cannot tell you that. All the customers asking for the shipments, whatever the rate. The security threats and operation delay, we send also our trucks to Jeddah, and slowdown happens because of you know that in Jeddah, the customs are very strict and very difficult in Saudi Arabia. So what happened? We start to receive the cargo only from UAE. So now carriers 2 weeks back start to give us the full, the multimodal transport from Far East to Kuwait through Fujairah, Khorfakan by road to Abu Dhabi, then Abu Dhabi to Kuwait by feeder. And there is also some carriers that start work inter-Gulf ports, go to from Dammam, Jebel Ali, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Al Qasr, back to Dammam. This intermodal and multimodal, the passage inter-Gulf make the cost rise. I can give you one example from Qingdao. I have a customer, he's loading 6 containers per month. The freight was 1650, $50. After the conflict, now the rate is 7,900. You can imagine the difference is more than 4 times. So the customer who is ordering 6 containers now is ordering 1 container, and he knows that he will receive after 40, 45 or 50 days, which affect also the price of the cargo and the delivery. Can we go to the next? For the oil, Gulf countries, they cannot go without oil export. So they use pipelines through the Red Sea to send it to Europe, which will make around 10 to 15% only for their normal export, which affects also on the economy of Kuwait and economy of the Gulf countries. But I'm talking about Kuwait. Marine insurance also going high. 99% of all the marine insurance companies send us email in 2nd of March. They all cancel all the bills of insurance. No certificate of insurance will be applied. So everyone now make additional security. He asking for more insurance or don't insure his cargo to receive it in Kuwait. Also, I told you that the freight rates increasing. So I can tell you that the import cargo to Kuwait around 5% of normal, maybe less. In April, it's go to 4.5% as import cargoes. So can we go to the next one, Arabi, please? We already spoke about this. One more. Yes. What Kuwait do that they know that they will have challenges, cannot depend on UAE and Saudi Arabia for long time. So now they start to give incentives and support for the fishing, planting, and dairy and poultry for inside Kuwait. But also it cannot support all the kinds because of the weather. Now we are in May, we are going for 44, 45 degrees. So some vegetables and fruits cannot grow in this environment. So they make greenhouses or import like that, but they make too much incentives for dairy milk and poultry and fishing, especially fishing, just to make sure that the country will run. Country will not stuck like that. So the main effect happened because of the oil export, which is banned because the Kuwait only export oil. There is no manufacturing, there is no investment, there is no tourism, there is no conferences, there is no other activity. This is our main income is oil. That's it. This is the clear image about Kuwait. If anyone need any clarification or any question, we are here after the third presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Very good to hear it. As I say, we're on the news. I guess we see so much about the oil movements and whatever, and we think of like the oil in other countries, how it's being affected. But of course, the revenue of the oil is key to your economies and your way of life in these countries as well. So yes,
Yeah.
it's important to mention that. And as I say, I wonder about your food security. That is, which maybe we'll have some more questions about afterwards. But anyway, thank you for that view of Kuwait, and we'll see how we have other matters also. So Kuwait a little bit stuck in the Gulf of Persia, UAE on 2 sides of it. What about Saudi Arabia? Let me pass the mic over to Roshan Ghaffar to give the Saudi Arabian perspective. Is Saudi Arabia suffering? Is Saudi Arabia giving the solution to some of these problems? Let's hear from words from Saudi Arabia.
Hi, David. Yes, of course, we do suffer as like others do. Our region is really, we hope peace to come quickly as possible because the situation is not so good how it's moving at the moment. And in addition to my friends Goldie and Muhammad, what spoken about their regions and very specific and mostly detailed. So I'm not going to go on to them again, and I will let me brief on my presentation. Let's go to the next page. Of course, about the main demanding point is the sea freight. Here, into Saudi Arabia and the other regions, from Red Sea to the east, to the UAE and Kuwait and Qatar, and so many inquiries are coming, but difficult to cater due to a lack of facilities, because you can see the demand, the inquiries are coming from all these countries, and the short of especially the supply from Jeddah is another challenging issues for them, for us. So Hormuz is closed. Basically, the shipping lines are not accepting bookings. So you can see the map on the right, the Jeddah and is Jeddah port is heavily, it, a lot of, you can see a lot of berths there, and all containers and congested, and you can see out anchorage, the general carriers and the container carriers and the tankers are outside. So in the Red Sea we have the bulk ports like Rabi, Yanbu, and and Jeddah as well, and King Abdullah Port. These are the other ports which are supporting on the Red Sea side. You can see King Abdullah is almost empty these days, because mostly the MSC calls there, and some break bulks or the tankers are coming. Basically, there is a Aramco plant. They are catering that area. So MSC is mostly onto King Abdullah, and you can see the traffic in Red Sea, where the ports on the right side of Jeddah and all. So tankers and again general cargo and containers are moving. The traffic is moving through Red Sea, but still volatile because of Bab al Mandu issue also there. On the other hand, on the Gulf issue also there. So carriers are, especially most of the carriers are not accepting to Dammam, the eastern coast. Let's go to the next part. Yep. Regarding air freight, it's operational but volatile. The freighters are not coming frequently as much as before. Especially the SV Saudi Airlines is serving from China to Riyadh on freighters, and some freighters from maybe Etihad is coming likewise. So, but its schedule is not sure. So many issues as such. For Jeddah, yes, all Europe from Russia and all this area is connected to Jeddah, and but congestion and delays are happening in Jeddah. Market condition, high demand for sea, sometimes from sea to air shifting, so capacity is tight and volatile. So airlines are adjusting their routes and airspace risk as well. So we have the options for especially Jeddah and Riyadh. And Dammam is, it's unpredictable, but a few local carriers are coming likewise. Let's go to the next one. Land freight is the reliable backbone for us, especially from Red Sea, Jeddah. Strategic corridors are Jeddah, Riyadh, and Dammam. From Jeddah, Riyadh, it goes to the north, like Kuwait, and also to the east, like Bahrain and Qatar. And Dammam as well. From Riyadh, Jeddah, Riyadh, it moves to UAE side as well. So the issue is uh, the MLOs. Mostly they are booked, all the transport fleet, almost 90 to 95%. So where the other guys are going to book? How long? So just imagine all the MLOs are booking the transportation, almost 90%. So how we are going to survive with the balance? So many issues are going. Even today, I heard customs is showing the what you call round trip in the sense the empty return back to Jeddah is not acceptable. So it's a news coming from today. So things are changing day by day, weekly basis, and the rates are not stable. We are facing so many issues as such. Let's go to the next one. Yes, rising cost is always the problem for us, and the insurance. Most of the insurance companies not accepting, especially recently. I had an experience from China. They say we will book up to the port, not door to door. It's not acceptable because of the situation here. So still the premium is high, but when I go to the local insurance guy, he say we'll do it, but the rates are more than the double or triple the amount. Yeah. So this is the situation based on insurance. Like routing is taking longer transit and delays, and demurrages. So many issues are coming up. The market condition, you can see what do you call it? Major airlines remain extremely cautious with the Gulf bookings, and recovery timeline is normally expected to take months, not weeks. So we don't know when it will improve, but we are really hoping and waiting to see the improvement. Waiting to see the improvement, and also with all these trouble, the oil price also increasing from 120 to 120 barrel, $20 per barrel. It's a global disruption impact. So let's go to the next one. In summary, a restructured system. Yes, the sea is disrupted, but Red Sea is the only stable avenue, and operation is operational but volatile. Land most reliable. Currently, it's a backbone, but we would face more issues with the rules and regulations when they implement the government wise. So that's it from me. Open for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Roshan. As I say, in a way, it would have been good to see Saudi Arabia being in a position whereby you are able to assist, but of course, like these bottlenecks occur, and it is difficult to get things through at the same price as moving by ocean freight. So let us see how it works out. Please let me hand over to questions. What questions do we have from the audience, or any comments to make on the presentation that you've seen so far? You can raise your hand, so there's no questions in the question and answer section. But who would like to see something? Yes, I see one hand up there. Yes, Nida, please. Yes.
My
Hello.
question for Goldie. Goldie, do you know if the Fujairah flights are suspended? I heard something like this.
Yeah, whenever there is some threats, there are some suspensions, but it is all reinitiated within hours or days. So in general, like it's all functional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
2 days ago, there was an issue. There was operationally they were stopped the activities, but it was reinitiated within hours or a day time.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This was great, like insights. Like gave like a really good overview, at least for me. Like I feel like I have a better bird's eye view of everything.
Thank you for that, Nida.
Okay.
Couple of questions for me. I'm hearing some news from shipping lines making agreements with I understand Abu Dhabi terminal or whatever. I think that was CMA, and also some MSC agreements with routes in. As freight forwarders, are you receiving lots of requests? Are there solutions which seem to be happening here, or is that not something you're hearing of? Maybe I can start that with Goldie. I say specifically with CMA into Abu Dhabi. I mean, I say
Yeah.
if the shipping lines are trying to position themselves in a way where they can give the solution all the way up to, shall we say, Abu Dhabi port or even Jebel Ali. Is this effective or just like talk at the moment, or how is that going?
David, what the information you get is very correct. At the moment, that is most cost effective and fastest option at the moment as a solution. AD ports, which is Abu Dhabi ports, have an agreement with Etihad Rail and CMA. So all the shipments coming, containers coming to Fujairah port will be transported by Etihad Rail to Abu Dhabi ports or Jebel Ali. Like that transit, is more labeled than any other option at the moment and cost effective as well. This takes normally a day or maximum in 2 days' time. The containers will be either in Jebel Ali or in Abu Dhabi port.
Okay. But this is like a solution which you'll be booking through shipping lines directly to Abu Dhabi port or something like that, or is it all really up in the air? Because I'm guessing there's like big congestion, big delays, and very high prices of the trucking which you're arranging at the moment, and a difficult situation for you in general. Yes, I guess.
You are right. The options of Corfacan delays plus the higher charges, the service is not guaranteed. When compared to that, this is a recent development with the Abu Dhabi ports and Etihad Rail, because Corfacan is not connected with the rail. Only Fujairah is connected with the rail. So that's the advantage on that option.
Okay.
David, I have a
Um,
comment on that. May I have a
Yes,
couple
please,
of minutes
certainly.
on the count? Yes, you know what happened? That I already booked some shipments from Italy through CMA. I received from Italy through this route from Italy to Jeddah, and from Jeddah they sent by truck to Dammam port, and from Dammam port to Shuwaik port by feeder. This is a practice with the shipment which I'm expecting to receive next week from Italy to Kuwait. So this is a practice I receive from Europe. But from Far East, I have another route, two routes. First one from Far East to Fujairah or Corfacan, then from Corfacan to Abu Dhabi by rail or by truck, then from Abu Dhabi to Shuwaik by feeder. Also, this is a shipment I received the arrival notice today. First shipment I booked through the conflict, I received it today. So this is the two routes which I received throughout this Abu Dhabi port. One Abu Dhabi port and one from Dammam port. This is the multimodal I already received shipments on.
Are you receiving merchandise through Aqaba or even through Turkey as well into Kuwait, or is that really
No.
not a viable route?
From Turkey, I have regular land freight shipments from Gaziantep, from Istanbul, and from Izmir. From Izmir and Antalya, I'm loading marbles and stones, and from Mula also by road. From Gaziantep, I receive power drinks and some juice and some nuts. And from Istanbul, from Aksaray, and from Kadıköy.
I was nodding.
From Turkey, Egypt by road.
I have a question. Mo, could
Please.
you just repeat the routing you were just mentioning?
It-
Yeah.
From China, we have two routes, depends on the shipping line. From China, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, up to Khorfakan or Fujairah. After that, from Khorfakan or Fujairah to Jebel Ali or Abu Dhabi by truck, land freight. After that, from Jebel Ali or Abu Dhabi to Kuwait by feeder, and all of that included in the quotation. I book the shipment with my agent through CMA or Hapag-Lloyd in China or the other countries. I receive the cargo in Kuwait. The customer, he can consider that he received through Hormuz Strait. He don't know this, or he's not, that he is not giving any attention how it comes, but he need the cargo. This is the route.
Is that the cargo you were talking about, which was previously, I think you said 1,650, and now it's about
Yes,
$8,000?
It was 1,650 before the conflict, the full container from Qingdao. Now $7,900, almost
Right.
4 times.
It's same like
There's a
the
question as well
Corona
in the,
time.
yeah, right, yeah. There's a question in the group as well from Kusal, from Lobit, from Sri Lanka, asking what kind of volume drops you've experienced in containerized cargo. I mean, this group, this meeting was titled "Ship, Wait, or Patience." I mean, what we're trying to say, like, are people just proceeding to ship whatever the cost? Are they waiting to see if the conflict ends, or are they shipping with a long transit time? What is the balance there, and what is the volume drops which you have been experiencing? Let's start with you, Mohammed.
It's that 85% drop. What I was loading before, now I'm loading 10 to 15% of it. And everyone is that, oh, Hormuz Street will open, I will wait. Hormuz Street will open, I will wait. Hormuz, like that. Okay, let's wait.
You mean that there are many building projects delayed and everything is just on hold? And
Yes,
people are not-
everything. An airport already closed because it's attacked around 8 times since the start of. Also, there is no air freight. Air freight, I receive very few, 2, 3 shipments from Bangkok and from Malaysia through Dammam. It's land flight to Dammam, from Dammam to Kuwait by road. And one shipment I received through EK, Emirates, from Dubai to Kuwait. Also, it comes by truck. Only one shipment like that. So everything is almost zero.
What about you, Goldie, please? What's your kind of volume drops out? Are people shipping at whatever cost, waiting till it ends, or proceeding and putting up with the long transit times? What is the situation?
Yeah. In March, there was a standstill situation, wherein there was no contingency, solutions, but in April it started improving a lot. And in May, at the moment, we can say there is a drop, but it can be around 50%.
Is that in container, ocean freight shipments, or both, or air freight, or what are you talking about then?
This I'm talking about the sea freight. Air freight, we have continuous service by EK and Fly Dubai and Etihad. Even through the tough times, they were been keep on flying. Airspace of UAE is opened on May 2nd, and more airlines are going to come now.
The sea freight is almost 90% drop. So I should say a few feeders are moving here and there, as Mohammed said. And Riyadh, of course, Riyadh, sea freight is catering Riyadh dry port via Dammam. That also same result. But in the west, Red Sea, yes, there is an increase and too much congestion because of all the things what was supposed to come to the east is coming to the west. And also not only that, not only local demand, also the GCC countries shipments as well. So on the Red Sea, it is, I should say it's highly congested. The volume is high. Is the situation there. And in terms of air freight, freighters are less. Riyadh and Jeddah is functional, and volume drop is there. Yes, I would say around 50% drop or 40% drop in that region. Dammam, of course, I would say around 80% or 75% drop or more than that by air freight.
There's a question. Any suggestion for optimal shipment or for dangerous goods and general cargo from Dubai to Chinese ports or Poti Port, Georgia, or Turkey main ports? We have a surge quotes in UAE exports. So we're mainly thinking, maybe being commenting on routes into the Gulf. There is, of course, some distribution and export from UAE also. Goldie, can you maybe comment on that question? Is there?
Yeah, David, at the moment, the we have some kind of like restrictions for the from the carriers. Like, none of them are accepting any DG shipments, either from UAE, because many are offering directly from Jebel Ali, but carrier option haulage, but they are not accepting any DG. We have continuously in checking options through Sogar. They're also the same situation. At the moment, refrigerator reefer cargoes, DGs, over dimensionals, the options are really, really less other than via Jeddah through merchant haulage. We have to truck it down to Jeddah, which is having a lot of customs issues, as well as the cost factors are very high.
Okay. What about shipments around the Gulf? I mean, distribution and some shipments, of course, merchandise is coming into the Gulf much slower. But are feeder vessels working around the Gulf as normal in that case, like from maybe Jebel Ali up to Kuwait, or is that not really, they're not really operative in that level?
That's happening. As I mentioned, through the multimodal option of CMA and everything, they are working based on Abu Dhabi Khalifa port, all Upper Gulf, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, all this Dammam, all are covered from there.
Okay, good to hear. Well, okay. Well, certainly, lots of information for us there. Kind of the big question is, when's this all going to end? Any foresight in terms of how you see this moving forward? Of course, we have the situation whereby possibly we'll have a tense and blocked or partially blocked strait for some time ahead, or maybe there will be some sort of political solution, which I'm not too sure exactly how that will go. Where do you see us in, shall we say, 6 months' time or 1 year's time?
Currently, we have very positive news about this. It's been updated that, a permanent ceasefire and opening of Hormuz with unconditionally can happen in next 10 days time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's been told.
Yeah. Mohammed, what about yourself? I mean, as you say, some people are delaying, let's wait till it opens up, wait until it opens up. I mean, where do you see yourself in 6 months' time, with more stable alternative routes through to Kuwait, or what do you foresee?
What I expect is even the ceasefire or treaty or a deal or open Strait of Hormuz within 10 days or even 1 month, the constraints and the consequences will remain for at least 5 to 6 months. Because many of carriers and many of the customers and also freight forwarder companies will still use the rerouting routes because they don't know what happened. We slept overnight, we found everything changed. So even the Strait of Hormuz is open, so the other routes will still remains. I expect by till end of year. This is one. Second, the oil prices will affect many the sectors, not only like the manufacturing, building. Like no, because we are going for winter. After 3 4 months, everyone start again to use the gas to the oils. So I see that the constraints will minimum 1 year. I expect that because what happened is not a shock. It's not like on off button. No, this is the big influence in many that sectors, especially in Europe and United States and Latin America. Everything will be affected. Even the Strait of Hormuz is open, the rates will be still in the same level. Maybe that decrease by $1,000, $500, but not like that going like before. We will see. We will see what will happen, but this is my expectation.
Okay. Rushing up, or maybe if
Yes,
final
I
words from
do
you.
agree.
Yes.
I do agree with Goldie and Muhammad what they were commenting on, but I wish it should not happen for that extent. And once the peace deal is marked, I hope the oil price will drop. It should drop immediately. Then I hope rest of the things also might work on. And this is the only wish that we have. Of course, the same like Goldie and Muhammad, we are also suffering, as I said from the beginning, not only work-wise, also in our normal life
Personal
wise
life, yeah.
also it's affecting to us. So these are the things. So we are looking for peace, waiting for peace.
That's some final words there. All of us hoping for peace. Let us hope the situation is resolved. And as I say, good to hear we have some solutions for it as well. And I think we should leave it like that. Thank you very much, all of you, for your time. Thanks for the insight given to us from Saudi Arabia, from Kuwait, and from Dubai. Thank you for everybody else for joining us. An interesting conversation. We will be back in a few hours' time with the same format of meeting, but with a slightly different angle, because we'll be speaking to maybe more European and US members. So if any of you is still awake in 6 hours' time, certainly please feel free to join us. And please feel free to reach out to our three speakers or anybody else in SCN, of course, to ask for some solutions and some assistance with your shipment in and out of the Gulf at these complex times in that case. So thank you very much again. And we'll be connecting up in about 6 weeks' time for our next cyber meeting. Initially, we'll be speaking about AI agents in logistics. Interested in contacts which you may have on the subject? Interested in any other alternative subjects you would like to talk about? If you're motivated, prized, shocked, worried, or whatever by anything in logistics, great. If you're just going through zombie style, okay, we'll leave that to you. I guess most of you are feeling pressure, pain, or love for logistics in one way or the other. Okay, so please reach out to us with your ideas of that. Your zombie style is maybe. Thanks again, and thanks for being part of the SCN committee. Thanks, Mohammed. Thanks, Goldie, and
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Okay, bye.